Hey guys, it's Roxanne West from Bonjour Bliss blog, and today in my kitchen we are making some homemade buttermilk biscuits in our new Le Creuset cookware, as well as a blueberry Chia Jam. So first off, we are going to go with our dry ingredients. Here we have some cake flour. We're going to pour inside our Le Creuset mixing bowl. And we have some unbleached white flour. Put that in there as well. Next up, we have 1 tablespoon of sugar. We have 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. We have 4 teaspoons of baking powder. And then we've got some butter here, which we are going to put in. And I have 2 knives, so we can cut the butter into the flour. It's like cutting up spaghetti for your kids. Okay. I'm also going to put 1.25 teaspoons of Himalayan sea salt in there, and I'm going to give it one more mix around with the fork. And now we are going to pour in 1 cup of buttermilk. So I don't usually have buttermilk on hand, so one thing you can always do is mix it yourself, which we did 1 cup of whole milk, and then we added 1 tablespoon of vinegar. Here you go. I'll just mix it up like this. I'm going to set aside 1.5 pounds of blueberries till we need it for the jam, and so we have more room on this workspace. So we flipped the dough out of the bowl, and I'm just pressing it lightly, and then I'm going to start rolling it out with my lightly floured marble rolling pin. And you're going to want to roll it out to be about 1 inch thick. And don't be intimidated if it's a little bit crumbly. That is exactly what it's supposed to look like a little bit shaggy. You're not making moist banana muffins or anything like that. Now you can use a biscuit cutter to get your circles for your biscuits, or you can use a knife, or if you have a circular cookie cutter that you've used before, that can also work. Okay, we are using a 2-inch round cookie cutter, and I'm gonna try and get about 6 or 7 biscuits, and I wanna place them neatly in the cast iron skillet, which is the same way I do on my cinnamon buns, and they bloom up nicely, and it's a cute way to serve it in the cast iron skillet. So we're gonna bake them and serve them the same way. So this. What's great is if you wanna line a cookie sheet with parchment paper and you have some extra dough, you can make a bunch more biscuits. You could probably get about 12 biscuits out of this recipe. Depends how big or small you want to make them. As you can see, we have 6 right now. I'm going to do 1 more. And then we'll put aside the flour to make some more biscuits on a cookie sheet after. Okay, so we took a moment to clean up, and I wanted to let you guys know that we preheated the oven before we started at 425. So the oven is ready to go. So now I'm gonna place these biscuits nicely onto the cast iron skillet on how we want them to bake together. So I always put one in the center, and then we're just gonna do the other ones around it. The good amount of space between each one. Usually people say 1 inch, but I cheat that. I like when they bake together and really like fluff up and stick together like a big break apart bread. And we could probably just do this many, but I'm gonna try to sneak 1 more in. Okay guys, so you're gonna wanna cook these for about 15 to 18 minutes until they're golden and firm to the touch. My Le Creuset stove runs really hot, so we're gonna make sure that we check it at 13 minutes, and we'll keep you guys updated. Here we go. Okay, so we have our biscuits all ready, and I can already tell that they're not stuck to the bottom, which is so great about this Le Creuset cast iron skillet. Still very hot, so I have to be careful, but they're firm to the touch, super golden. And look at that, they slide right off, no stick. So what we're gonna do right now is I'm gonna stick them on our cooling rack, like so. so that by the time our fresh batch of jam is done cooking, we could grab the one that we made earlier out of the fridge and we can enjoy it on these fresh biscuits. Now, if you only see 6 by that time, it wasn't me. Okay guys, now it's time for the second part of this video where we are sharing a homemade blueberry chia jam. So in this recipe, we're gonna be using the new Le Creuset blueberry saucepan that we were sent. Let's see what the inside looks like. These pots, well the saucepans, sorry, they are amazing. Nothing sticks to them. So this recipe is nice and healthy. It's something the entire family can enjoy, and it is September here in Ontario. People are still basking in blueberry season, even though the orchards are open for apples. So this recipe calls for 1.5 pounds of fresh or frozen blueberries. We are actually gonna do this with frozen blueberries because I forgot not to eat all of our fresh blueberries. So the kids and I enjoyed them with pancakes this weekend. So we're gonna use our nice frozen ones, organic ones that we had in the freezer, 1.5 pounds. And then we're gonna use 2 tablespoons of chia seeds and then 1/4 cup of local honey. First things first, we have to heat up this saucepan on the stove. Okay, so you're gonna wanna set this guy up on medium heat. There we go, we'll get it to medium. So we're gonna let that saucepan warm up right now, and then we're gonna be adding our 1.5 pounds of blueberries and our 1/4 cup of local honey. Okay, so we have those blueberries heating up in the saucepan right now with our local honey. And what we're letting it do right now is boil down and soften up so that when it's ready, we're gonna be adding those 2 tablespoons of chia seeds. So these chia seeds, they're gonna give you that jammy texture that you're familiar with, but not only that, it's also gonna give you some protein, some fiber, and some omega-3s. Okay, we have our fresh batch of blueberry chia jam inside the saucepan, and it is all cooled down, so we're gonna transfer it to a mason jar. We've had it sitting here for 1/2 hour cooling off, and now we're gonna transfer it to our mason jar where it can sit in the fridge for a couple of hours before you use it, unless you want it nice and warm. So this can actually last in your fridge for 2 weeks, but you can actually keep it in your freezer for up to 2 months. Funny enough, we did a blueberry jam in partnership with Le Creuset to launch their new blueberry color cookware. I'll try this, guys. Let's see how it is. Oh my gosh, look, they're perfect. That is so good. This would make such a delicious little treat in your kids' lunch. You could put a biscuit with a little container of jam for them and they can do it themselves. Thanks for watching our homemade chia blueberry jam recipe in partnership with Le Creuset's launch of their new blueberry cookware line. We hope you enjoy the recipe. It's super easy, super healthy, and if you do make it, we would love to hear what you think. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe below.